Hi there. Just after watching The Armchair Detective, and he ran something about the Jack the Ripper. So this case is obviously over 130 years old, right? And I made a video a couple of weeks ago about John Williams, Sir John Williams, being a lot of evidence being tied to Sir John Williams, and I just watched another one of his videos, The Armchair Detective, about Madeleine McCann, and an American made a very good video about Pizzagate, connecting Madeleine McCann with Pizzagate, and there's some good evidence to do with that, but he hasn't even touched that. He hasn't even looked at that, and as far as I know, he hasn't even mentioned Sir John Williams in his investigation about who the true Jack the Ripper was, and that just blows my mind. So let me just go you can see when I started investigating it. It's like a couple of weeks ago. I watched it tonight, and my mind is completely blown about the amount of evidence that connects Sir John Williams to the actual murders. Let me go through the evidence. Sir John Williams was Welsh. I believe at least one of the 5 victims of Jack the Ripper, was also Welsh. The last one, a woman named Mary Kelly, was found to have a locket with Sir John Williams' picture in it. And she was the worst victim out of the 5. So that's some evidence, at least. The other evidence is that I think at least 3 or 4 of the victims, I think 4 out of the 5 of the victims, I don't think the first one, any organs were taken, or maybe it was the second one, but I think 4 out of the 5, there was organs taken from the body. Why would any say it was a rapist, or say it was, nobody knows, right? Say it was that, or say, why would they take organs from the body? It doesn't make any sense. And specifically, there were always kidneys and some other parts of the womb and so on. So let me explain a little bit of background about John Williams. He was married, and his wife couldn't have children, but he happened to be a surgeon. He was actually a high up surgeon in London, and he also happened to be a surgeon of the royal family. And his surgery was in Whitechapel, where the murders took place. Now, if I had half a brain and I was in the police force at that time, I would make John Williams the prime suspect of the murders. He'd be one of the prime, like the handful, like maybe between 3 or 4 people, he would be one of the prime suspects, just with that knowledge alone, and the connection and the manner that the victims were killed and the organs taken, which only a surgeon knows how to access certain organs. How many surgeons actually stayed in Whitechapel, that area, during 1888? Incidentally, that was the year Glasgow Celtic was formed, wasn't it? Nothing to do with them, but an unfortunate coincidence, right? But okay, but that alone, it just blows your mind, right? And that's the tip of the iceberg. That is the tip of the iceberg. And yet the Armchair Detective doesn't even mention him as a suspect. The Armchair Humpty Dumpty doesn't mention him as a suspect. What, I mean, I'm just blown away. I'm blown a freaking away, man. I just I was going to make a video. I might make a video about the flat Earth again, but It seems that people just want to dodge that issue, you know. It's divisive. Jesus said, I came to bring division. So it's either true or it's false, the flat earth, right? It's either true or it's false. And the more this goes on, the more the Holy Spirit is, I believe, getting more aggressive against the flat earthers. And I believe that the truth shall prevail. And I believe that the flat earthers shall be shown as charlatans and false, and part of just a conspiracy, a divide and conquer conspiracy from Satan himself, which they're part of, but they're just biting they're biting the bait right now, but they don't realise that they're being fished in. It's not Jesus that's fishing them in, it's Satan that's fishing them in. I'm telling you, man. It's like, I don't take pride in being right. I'm not the type of guy that loves to be right and, oh, I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just not like that. But we'll see, truth shall prevail.